يا ذا الأسماء الحسنى يا خالقنا غفرانا نسألك وأنت الأسمى نأمل عفوك سبحانك.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. From the Asma'ullah al-Husna, or the names of Allah Azza wa Jal that we are doing, we come to the name Quddus. We come to the name Al-Quddus. Now, if you say with me, Huwa Allahu alladhi, Wallahu alladhi la ilaha illa huwa ar-Rahmanu ar-Rahim al-Malikul Quddus. So we've done the name Rahman, Rahim, Malik, and now we're on to the name Quddus. Now this name of Allah Azza wa Jal, the first thing that Imam Qurtubi rahimahullah he mentions is that Quddus is something that by the ijma' or the consensus of the ummah, you're not allowed to call anyone Quddus. You can call them Abdul Quddus, but you can't call them Quddus. And we will find out why in a little while. Because Allah Azza wa Jal, He has got this sifa or this quality of His that no one else shares this with Him. In the way He is Quddus, or the way He is absolutely sublime, or absolutely the one who is far from every sort of deficiency, every kind of imperfectness, anything that is an aib or something which is frowned upon, something which people dislike, anything whatsoever of nuqs or deficiency or something which has a lack, Allah Azza wa Jal is free from that, and that's what makes Him Quddus. Now in the according to the lugha, according to the lexicon, you find that this meaning this comprises of the meaning of tahara, or of cleanliness. So what this means is that, for example, in the Holy Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah, in ayah number 30, the angel said, وَنَحْنُ نُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ وَنُقَدِّسُ لَكَ. We are angels that we are always continuously glorifying your praise, and we're always saying how wonderfully you are absolutely perfect and free from every blame, free from every dislikeness, free from any deficiency, free from anything that is unwanted. So the word nuqaddis has been used here. So the whole meaning of this is that Allah Azza wa Jal, He is the purifier, and He is purified, meaning that Allah in His nature has nothing to have, He has never had anything that needs purification, but He is the one that purifies. So anything that He has given the name Quds, or anything of taqdees, anything of purity He has ascribed it to Himself, it is of absolute purification. So for example, one place is known as Haziratul Quds. Haziratul Quds means that it is a place which is known as Jannah, and this place is a place that is purified, and Allah Azza wa Jal has His angels in this place, which is known as some of the greatest angels are in this place. The top angel of all of the angels, Jibreel alayhi salam, his name is what? His name is Ruhul Quddus, or Ruhul Quds, which means that he is the spirit of purity. He is the spirit of purification. Now what does this mean? This means that the first that Allah, because Allah has made him purified, he is purified, and anyone who he is in contact with, he will also purify them. So that's why when Jibreel alayhi salam, who does he come to? He comes to the likes of the prophets. He comes to the likes of those whom Allah has chosen. He has come to Maryam alayhi salam, though she wasn't a prophet, but she was a very purified woman. And Allah, Allah exalted her status. He said how her status was that she has the highest status amongst all the women in this whole of the world. Now, the same thing as Ardul Muqaddasa, which means the Holy Land. Palestine, the Holy Land, and that part of the land that Allah Azza wa Jal has referred to as Al-Ard Al-Muqaddasa in the Quran, which means it's a purified land. Now what does that mean? That means that Allah Azza wa Jal has purified that land from those who do not deserve to be there, and Allah will continue to do that. There will be times perhaps that there will be people inside there that they might not be purified, but that whole place wasn't created for that sake. And that is why you find, and it even purifies those who go there. Those people who go there, and if they go with the proper niyyah, with the proper intention, they go there just for salah, just to pray, it will purify. As in a hadith, a sahih hadith, that Nasa'i has narrated, and this hadith is also in Ahmad 6644, it's in Nasa'i 692, Ibn Majah 1408, amongst other books of hadith. In this hadith, Abdullah ibn Amr radiallahu anhu, he reports from the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam says that Sulaiman ibn Dawood, Sulaiman alayhi salam, the son of Dawood alayhi salam, lamma bana Bayt al-Maqdis, when he actually finished, when he finished making this house, the actual house of worship, which is the Masjid al-Aqsa, or the masjid, not the dome of the rock, not the masjid that we have got the golden dome over, but there is another masjid which has a silver dome, smaller than that masjid, in the vicinity, around the vicinity you can see it. That is Baytul Maqdis. So many of these pictures that you've got about, many of these pictures of Masjid al-Aqsa, it says Masjid al-Aqsa and then it shows you a golden dome. That is not actually Masjid al-Aqsa. You need to look a couple of 100 yards away, there will be a smaller masjid with a silver dome, and that is actually Masjid al-Aqsa. It is a scheme to make the Muslims believe that the golden dome is Masjid al-Aqsa. But that is not the case. So anyway, when on that place, when they call it the Solomon Temple, when he built his great grandeur temple, he then asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for three things. He asked Allah, he said, "Oh Allah, I want to judge according to your judgment." Number one. Number two, he said, وَمُلْكًا لَا يَنْبَغِي لِأَحَدٍ مِّن بَعْدِي. He said that, "Oh Allah, I want you to give me such a sovereignty, such a reigning on this earth, that no one after me will ever get this type of reigning ever again." So that's why Sulaiman alayhi salam, he was the only king that ruled the entire world. He ruled the ins and the jinn. He ruled the men and he also ruled the jinns. He also knew the kalam, or the speech of the birds and so on. And then the third thing that he made dua for was, he said, "Allah ya'tiyahu ahad la yanhazuhu illa salah fihi an yakhrujahu min khati'ati ka yawmin waladatu, aw yukhrijahu min khati'ati ka yawmin waladatu ummu." He said, I do not want anyone to come to this temple of mine, to this place of worship of mine, except that person, they came to this place what for? They came only to pray. They did not come for any other reason. They only came to pray here. That this masjid, Masjid al-Aqsa, or this temple of mine, or this place of worship, this will make them leave this place like the day their mothers gave birth to them, which means that they have no sin whatsoever. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam then adds on, he says, فَأُعْطِيَ جَمِيعَ ذَلِكَ, that Allah gave Sulaiman alayhi salam all three things. All three things He gave to him. So since this is Ardul Muqaddasa, that is the reason why, and you can also call it Ard al-Muqaddisa, which means that the earth itself, that part purifies. It's either a purified place or it's a purifying place. Both of them are okay. In the Quran we've got Ard al-Muqaddasa, which is the purified place. This is in the Holy Quran, and that means that Allah Azza wa Jalla, He has purified it. But according to this hadith, you can also say Ard al-Muqaddis. Both of them are okay according to linguistics. The next thing is that we have a hadith, and it's again to explain the meaning of Quddus, or Quddus, the name of Allah Azza wa Jalla, Quddus. How do we know this explanation? We know through a hadith. For example, There's a hadith where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he himself mentioned the word taqdis or quddisat. He mentioned this word. Now the whole hadith has got a whole background to it. What this background is, and this is a Sahih hadith in Ibn Majah 2426, that's the number. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiyallahu anhu, he says that a Bedouin came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he was asking for his money back, which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam took of him as a loan. He wanted his debt to be paid off. But he was quite severe in his mannerism. He was so severe that he said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that I will make life difficult for you unless you give me my money back. Now this was the nature of some of these Bedouins, because they never knew the etiquettes of Islam. So the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam companions, they became very angry by this, and they took hold of him and they said, "What's up with you? Don't you know who you're talking to?" He said, "I'm only asking for my right. Inni atlubu haqqi." I'm only asking for my right. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Halla ma'a sahib al-haqqi kuntum?" He said, "Why didn't you support the one who needs to fulfill his right?" Meaning that you're supporting me, support him. He wants his right. Subhanallah, you know, the hilm or the forbearance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam can be seen so clear here. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he sent for Khawla bint Qais. Khawla bint Qais, she came, and Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Have you got any dates? So that you may loan me these dates, and when some dates appear again in the harvest time, I will pay you back off with those dates." So she said, "Fine." She gave, she said, "Bi anti ya Rasulullah, I can sacrifice my father for your sake, Messenger of Allah." So then she gave him the dates, and he gave those dates to the Bedouin, and the Bedouin was fed by those dates. And then the Bedouin said, "Awfayt, awfallahu lak." He said, "You have completed your promise. May Allah fulfill His promise to you, or may Allah make fulfillment for you." That's when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he then commented, he said, "Ulaika khiyarun nas. Innahu la quddisat ummah la ya'khudhu ad-da'if fiha haqqahu ghayr muta'ti'." Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "These are the best of people. No community of people are purified." Notice the word quddisat. No community of people are purified until you find that he said, no community of people are purified where a weak person cannot get his right without getting harmed. What this means is that if you find a community of people and the weak person can get his right without being harmed, without going through trouble, then that community is a purified community. But if he has to go through trouble, where he has to go through a lengthy process to try and get his right, then that community is not purified. So this Sahih Hadith tells us that the word Quddus means, has a clear link to purification. And Allah Azza wa Jal will purify the society with people who exist like this in the society. So now you have the word tahara, the word purification, that is clearly linked with Allah Azza wa Jal, and He will give His purity to whoever He wants, to others. So He is the one who with purity, and He will purify whoever He wants. So for example, the first are His angels. His angels are purified. They have no nuqs, they have no deficiency, they have no lack. His anbiya, His prophets, they are purified. And whosoever from His creation He wants them to be purified, they will be purified. So these are from the things that Allah Azza wa Jal will do for His servants, or for His creation. Now, Ibn Arabi, rahimahullah, he has noted down 10 points to do with Quddus and Allah Azza wa Jal being Quddus. And what does this mean? How is He that He is absolutely one, he is purified. Another is that he is free from any form of defect, any form of deficiency, any lack, any sort of thing that is not wanted. So he says number one is that taqdisuhu an shuraka. Allah Azza wa Jal, He is free and is purified from any partner, anyone who would be his partner. He has no partners. Second is taqdisuhu anin nudhara. Anyone who wants to try and be similar to him, Allah is free from them. At-taqdisuhu anil abdad. Allah Azza wa Jal, He is purified and free from having anyone that is opposite to Him. Abdad or did. Did means anyone who's opposite to you. So we all have an opposite to one another. I have an opposite, you have an opposite. If you're a male, your opposite is the female. If a thing is dark, its opposite is the light itself. The light's opposite is the darkness. Night is day, day is night. Above is below, below is above. Right is left, left is right. Okay? Allah Azza wa Jal, for everything He has made an opposite. All His creation, they have opposite. Except for what? Except Himself. He has no opposites. And that is one way we know Him to be Quddus. The fourth one is taqdisuhu anil awlad. He is completely purified from having any children. He is purified from having any children. The fifth is taqdisuhu anil awham. Anyone who has any kind of thought about Allah. A lot of people have thoughts about God, and they say that, God must be this, God must be that, and they have all these thoughts about. Allah is purified from that. You can have as many bad thoughts as you want about God, but that's not going to harm Allah by the least. It's not going to harm Allah by the least. And that's how He's Quddus. You can swear at Him. Some atheist can swear at Him. Some person who is a mushrik or can say, okay, you have got so many other partners, and they've got that wahm, or that thought in their mind. And some other person can come and say, I don't even believe He exists. They can say all of that. But it's not going to have any effect whatsoever on him being Quddus, him being absolutely purified and free from any of these thoughts. Number 6 is taqdisuhu an al-tahdid. Allah is free from any limit. There's no limitation to God in any single form or any single way. There's no limitation. The only limitation that He might say to us is the limitation that He has said, I won't do this. For example, He has said in Hadith Qudsi, He said, Inni haramtu dhulma ala nafsi. I have made dhulm oppression. I have made dhulm or oppression. I have made that haram, forbidden for myself. Meaning that I will not oppress anyone. The Hadith in Muslim. So what does that mean? That means if somebody brought up the question and said, well, if God has no limit, then He should be able to even oppress someone if He wants to. If somebody brought that question, for example. Then Allah Azza wa Jall's answer to that is that I've made this haram. This is haram. I've made it myself. I've got the power to do so, but I've made it haram to myself, meaning that I will never oppress anyone. That's God's choice for Himself. But He has no limits whatsoever. Now, the next, number 7 is أَنَّهُ لَا تُدْرِكُهُ الْأَبْصَارِ بِالتَّصْوِيرِ. Anyone who wants to try and imagine God, no one will be able to get to anything, any near to what Allah Azza wa Jalla is like. So He is free from that. Number 8 is تَقْدِيسُهُ عَنِ الْحَاجَةِ إِلَى الْخَلْقِ. Allah is free from having any need towards His creation. He does not need anything besides Him. He is free from that. Number 9 is تَطْهِيرُ غَيْرِهِ إِلَيْهِ. Allah Azza wa Jal, He has the power to purify others towards Himself. Meaning that He can make them be purified. He has that spirit. That's why He is Quddus. You cannot call anyone else Quddus. To have the power to be purified and to purify others to the extent that has no limit. This is something which only Allah Azza wa Jal has. And number 10. أَنْ لَهُ الْكَمَالِ فِي كُلِّ وَصْفٍ لِاسْتِحَالَةِ النُّقْصِ عَنْهُ. The fact that He has got no deficiency within Himself, that itself is of His great exalted highness. So no one else shares anything with him in that, and that's how he is Quddus. Now, one name that is linked closely to this name Quddus is Subbuh. Subbuhun Quddus. In certain riwayats there is the name Subbuhun. And also if you look in the Quran, you will find that tasbih, or actually glorifying Allah. What does glorifying mean? What does tasbih mean? Tasbih means I am declaring that Allah is free from every defect, every blame, every thing that is unwanted, every disliking, anything that is impure. I am declaring Allah is free from all of that. So when I say Subhanallah, that means Allah is free from everything else, and He is sublime, He is glorified, He is purified, He is someone that is exalted above all the rest of His creation that have got these nooks, or they've got defect in one way or another. They've got that, and Allah is the only one that doesn't have that. That's what tasbih means. You've done tasbih. Now the angels, they say Nusabbihu bihamdik wa nuqaddisu lak. You will find that in the 30th verse of Surah Baqarah, that the word tasbih and taqdees, which means glorification of Allah and saying to Allah how purified He is, both of them go together. Now one of the things that Allah Azza wa Jal, He does is He purifies His servants through different ways. One way He purifies them is that He gives them a book from Himself. That book itself, Quran for example, the Quran is muqaddas. The Quran is absolutely purified. And He has given messengers to ourselves, that these messengers, because of Allah being Quddus, and He has made them purified, they are able to purify others. That's why you will find in Surah Baqarah, in ayah number 129, you will find Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one of his qualities was yuzakkihim. He purifies his Sahaba. So Allah is purified. He purified Jibreel. Jibreel came to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam purified. And Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam now has the ability to purify others. But not in the same way, obviously, as Allah Azza wa Jal does, but through the hukm of Allah, through the command of Allah, through the help of Allah, He is able to do that with His Sahaba. Allah has given us cleansing water, or water that cleans ourselves. This is again from His bounties of Him being Quddus. Now you can say, for example, if you see anything that is purified, its origin comes from who? Comes from Allah Azza wa Jal. If you see any nur, for example, any light, you have to say that that nur is originally from the light of Allah Azza wa Jal. We're not saying Allah exists here in this nur, in this light. For example, we've got light here. We're not saying Allah exists in the light, but His power is that because He is nur, He is light, He causes light to appear. He's the causer and the giver of light. In the same way, when there is any form of purification, Allah is the giver of that purification. Then Imam Qurtubi, he says, the same goes with knowledge. If you find any knowledge, you must realize that the Tawheed is what? That any knowledge, whatever you see, comes from the knowledge of Allah Azza wa Jal. The fact that Allah has given the power of that person to have knowledge, that comes from Him. Anywhere you see quwwah, izzah, you see power, you see dignity, that again from Allah Azza wa Jal it comes, and that person is able to have that because Allah provides that. So now he says, Imam Qurtubi says, that since these are something that Allah will give as a gift, so His book that is given as a gift, the fact that He's given prophets, this is a gift from Allah. That's fine. But there's certain things that we have to earn for ourselves. One of those is that we have to purify ourselves. He says a beautiful Arabic sort of statement. He says, يَجِبُ عَلَيْهِ أَن يُقَدِّسَ نَفْسَهُ عَنِ الشَّهَوَاتِ. It is obligatory on every single human being, or ourselves who believe in Allah being Quddus, that we purify our egos from the unwanted desires it has. وَمَالِهِ عَنِ الشُّبُهَاتِ. And we purify our wealth from any kind of doubt that it might have. وَقَلْبِهِ عَنِ الْغَفَلَاتِ. We try and purify our hearts from any time that is absent-minded from Allah or heedless from Allah Azza wa Jal. وَجَوَارِحِهِ عَنِ الْمُخَالِفَاتِ. And we purify our limbs from anything that will lead to us rebelling against Allah Azza wa Jal. وَمَطَامِعِهِ عَنِ الْمُلَاحَظَاتِ. And anything that we eat, we make sure that we have we make sure that we have, make sure that this food is halal for us, and it's a means of something which Allah has allowed for us to eat. And all this can only happen if we follow His commands, if we follow the Quddus, His commands, and we stay away from the things that He has told us to stay away from. And He says, for example, Salah. You can say that you're going to be purified through your Salah, and that's fine. If you use it in the right mechanism, then it will purify you from that which is unwanted inside you. That's why in the beginning of the 21st juz, Allah said, Inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. Salah will prevent you from any obscene thing or anything that is evil. Salah will prevent you, but only when you use it in the right sense. Because Imam Qurtubi says that an earth cannot really purify you, but it's the actions of yourself that purify you. فَإِذَا فَعَلَ ذَلِكَ إِسْتَنَارَ قَلْبُهُ وَخَشَعَ. When you find that you have gone through a process of doing certain good deeds that have cleansed your heart, then you will find that your heart will be inclined and devoted to Allah. وَظَهَرَ ذَلِكَ عَنْ ظَاهِرِهِ وَتَعَدَّ ذَلِكَ لِغَيْرِهِ. You will find that the manifestation of your own purification of your heart will appear on the outer side of your body. And you will also find that that will transcend beyond you, or go from yourself to others. So others in your company, because you have purified your heart, and others who are in your company, they will be purified as a result of you being purified just by staying in your company. Your whole family, your children, those who are around you will sense that sense of purification, because you are one that is purified. So as a summary, Allah Azza wa Jal being Quddus, He is one who is glorified, one who is exalted from every type of blame, deficiency, thought, argument against Him. Anyone thinking that he's got a deficiency, anyone ascribing anything to Him, any partners to Him, any similarities to Him, any kind of vision of His to Him. All of that, Allah Azza wa Jal, anything whatsoever, Allah Azza wa Jal is purified from, and is above His creation, in the sense that anything besides Him, they have some kind of imperfectness to them. But it is only Allah Azza wa Jal that has no imperfectness to Himself, and that is Quddus. So, Huwa Allah, say with me please. Huwa Allahu alladhi la ilaha illa huwa Rahman, Rahim, Al-Malik, Al-Quddus, and then As-Salam. So we move now to the name of Allah Azza wa Jal, As-Salam. As-Salam, the name of Allah, we find it obviously means peace, it means the one who possesses peace, and it means the one who gives peace. Okay? So the one who is peace, the one who is the possessor of peace, the one who gives peace, all of these meanings are in As-Salam. So we find in, for example, Surah Yunus, the 10th Surah, ayah number 25, وَاللَّهُ يَدْعُو إِلَى دَارِ السَّلَامِ. And Allah is the one that calls to the abode of peace. What does that mean? That either means that Allah Azza wa Jal calls us to the abode of peace is Jannah. So either it means Allah calls us to Jannah and says, come and join the abode of peace, because you can't find anything but peace in Jannah. Or it means that is Salam, because Allah is Salam, He is the one who's peace. So it's His abode, meaning that He has, just as in the Quran you will find when Allah Azza wa Jal, He gave the she-camel to Salih alayhi salam, He said to those people, Naqat Allah, this is Allah's she-camel. What does that mean? That means that I have given it the name of Naqat Allah, my she-camel, meaning that you must not touch it. You must revere it. Anything that Allah uses as a way to, as a possession to Himself, it shows that we must revere it. Like for example, Baytullah or Kaaba. We don't say that Allah lives there, but because Allah has said it's my house, it means that Allah Azza wa Jal has shown us His possession over this house specifically. Which means what? That we revere that house, we honor that house, we treat that house with respect. That's all it means. So that is Salam, meaning the Jannah, that Allah is calling us that Jannah. Everyone will honor that Jannah. There will be no one that will dishonor that Jannah. Imam Qurtubi says, that you cannot name anyone Salam. You can say Abdus Salam, but you can't name anyone Salam. This is one of the things. Why? Because no one really has the true possession of giving absolute peace except Allah Azza wa Jal. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he would finish his salah, he would say Astaghfirullah, Astaghfirullah, Astaghfirullah 3 times. I seek forgiveness from Allah, I seek forgiveness from Allah. 3 times you say that. Then he would say, Allahumma anta salam. O Allah, you are salam. You are the one of peace. Wa minka salam, and peace comes from you. Wa tabarakta ya dhal jalali wal ikram. You are one that is exalted. You are one that is blessed. Ya dhal jalali wal ikram. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would say this dua sometimes after salah. Now, there are a number of ahadith, number of du'as that he would say, but this is one of the ones that he would say. So immediately after the Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, what's that? When we in our salah say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, we are sending peace onto the angel that is sitting on our right and the angel that is sitting on our left. We can send salam onto some ulama have said that it is to the people who are sitting on our right and the people who are sitting on our left, or the jinns who are on our right and the jinns who are on our left, or the angels who are on our right, meaning within the hall or within the place where we prayed, or the angels who are on our left. So that is salam done. That's why there is no need after the salah. Some people have a habit that after the salah they said the salam and then they get the hand out and they say Assalamu alaikum, Assalamu alaikum. There's no need of that. There's no need of that. Some masjids you go into, then the people, all shaking the right, shaking the left. Mainly in some Turkish mosques it happens. But there is no need of that. Because the moment you said Assalamu alaikum this way, Assalamu alaikum that way, it covers all those people and you've meant that. That's fine. But immediately after that you can see that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying that what? That peace comes from Allah. We recognize that. We find in that famous part of the Quran, Surah Al-Hashr, ayah number 23, you'll find Allah Azza wa Jal has said, Al-Quddus, Salamul Mu'minul Muhaymin, and so on. The word salam is there. Now, salam is also, one of the meanings of salam is to be free, again, to be safe, or to be safe from what? From any kind of defect or anything that is unwanted. Salam is also to give and offer peace. Salam is also when we say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to one another, and when we're sending peace. And we'll come to the meaning of that in a little while. Now Imam Qurtubi says that salam, from that we find one of the words that's linked to it in the Quran is salam. Salam means that you want peace. So when there's a war going on and you have a peace process, that peace process is known as salam in Arabic. So for example in Surah Al-Anfal, which is the 8th surah, ayah number 61, you find Allah Azza wa Jalla, He says, وَإِن جَنَحُوا لِلسَّلْمِ فَجْنَحْ لَهَا. If these people want to make peace with you, then you should incline towards it. You should allow them to have peace. So this is again the word salam linked to salam from the same 3 root letters, which is Sin, Lam, Mim. Ibn al-Ambari and others have said, Wallahu yad'u ila daris salam. Wallahu yad'u ila daris salam. That ayah in Surah Yunus, ayah number 25. Any person who goes to Jannah, he is free from what? Free from all the things. He is safe. He is in peace. He is in safety from what? From all the things that are in the dunya, in the world. For example, there is no illness in Jannah. There is no weakness in Jannah. There is no old age in Jannah. There is no death in Jannah. And anything that is similar to that, Allah Azza wa Jalla says, Lahum daru salam inda rabbihim. For them, Allah has given them the abode of peace that lies with their Lord. This is in Surah Al-An'am, Surah 6, ayah number 127. Now when we say Assalamu alaikum to one another, we mean that may peace be with you, upon you, stay with you. And this is very similar to an ayah in the Quran in Surah Waqi'ah, ayah number 91 of Surah Waqi'ah, which is the 56th surah of the Quran. Here Allah Azza wa Jal, He says, فَسَلَامٌ لَكَ مِنْ أَصْحَابِ الْيَمِينَ. Peace to you from the people of, or safety to you, whichever one you want to say, because it has both the meanings, from the people of the right. Now what does that mean? That means that on the Day of Judgment there will be Ashabul Yameen, there will be Ashabul Shimal, and there will be the Sabiqun as-Sabiqun. There will be three different types. There will be the people of the right, there will be the people of the left, and there will be the people who are racing from the first of the first ahead. May Allah Azza wa Jal make us from them. From the Sabiqun al-Awwalun, from the people who are racing, who are first, who are way ahead. So the people of the right, Ashabul Yameen, who are they? They are the people whom you, O Prophet, or you, O reader of the Quran, you are safe from them. If you end up on the Day of Judgment as Ashabul Yameen, from the people of the right, you got no worries. You got no worries, because you know that your actions are enough for you to go to Jannah. Therefore, you will not harm anyone else. You will not try to drag anyone else down with you to hellfire. So therefore, there is peace for you, O reader of the Quran, from anyone who ends up from Ashabul Yameen or from the people of the right. That's what one of the meanings of Salamun laka min Ashabil Yameen means. It also means that Salima min al-Aib. It means that the people of Yameen, or the people of the right, they are themselves safe from any defect. And there is a great lengthy part of a tafsir by Imam Qurtubi, which says in his own tafsir, his tafsir that he has written, it says that under this ayah, it says that they have got safety, they will provide safety, they will provide peace. And they are safe from what? From the punishment of Allah Azza wa Jal. Or it means, like I said, that you are safe from them. And it also can mean that Salamun laka min ashabil yamin could mean that they will say to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the Day of Judgment, Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah. They will get the chance to be close to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to say to him, Assalamu alayk. And some have said that they are safe from the things that they dislike. So anything that they dislike, they are safe from that. So all of these things, if you look at them, they all go to one thing, which is that the word Salam, Allah Azza wa Jalla is Salam, and He will give them this sifa or this characteristic on the Day of Judgment. He has added on later on and said there will be three kinds of peace that they will have. Any person who is from the Yameen, from the people of the right. And may Allah make us from these people. Say Ameen. When you're in this world and the angel of death comes to you, the angel of death at the time of death will say to you, before he takes your soul away, he will say to you, Assalamu alaikum. He will say Assalamu alaikum to you. So that is a beautiful thing, and this is mentioned in, you will find this in Surah Nahl, ayah number 32. الَّذِينَ تَتَوَافَاهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ طَيِّبِينَ سَلَامٌ عَلَيْكُمْ, so on. It's clearly there that the angel will come and they will say Assalamu alaikum to that person and then take his soul. Number two is that when they go into the grave, then Munkar and Nakir will say Assalamu alaikum to the person before they ask the questions. Number three is that on the Day of Judgment, the angels, before they come and meet them or come to them on the Day of Judgment, they will say Assalamu alaikum to them on the Day of Judgment. And Imam Qurtubi has said, some Mufassirun have said that it will be one of these three, and he has said there is no surprise if all of these three come true for a person who is from the people of the right. Another thing is that a person who is like this in the dunya, there will be such people, they will be peaceful. How? A part of the Quran in Surah Furqan, Surah number 25, ayah number 63, it says, وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. When the people who are ignorant turn towards them and they try and be cruel to them and say words that are not liked by them, what do the people of Salam, what do they do? With the Ibadur Rahman, the servants of the Rahman, they say what? قَالُوا سَلَامًا. They say peaceful things. They either say peaceful things, or they move away peacefully, or they say Assalamu alaikum and they move on. There's all the different tafsirs in there. One of the meanings of As-Salam, Allah being Salam, means that He is the one who provides the peace. He is the possessor of peace. So it means that anything that He is peace meaning that He is completely safe from all the things that His creation have. For example, His creation are those who will perish, but Allah will not perish. Allah is safe and in peace and in amnesty from that. His makhluk or His creation death will overcome them. But Allah Azza wa Jal, He is safe from that. Or any other deficiency that they will have, Allah is the possessor of safety that He has. He is safe from all of these things. The ulama, Ibn Arabi rahimahullah, he says that the ulama are completely agreed upon the fact that Allah Azza wa Jal, we ascribe to Him, when we say Ya Salam, when we say Allah's name is Salam, we are saying that Allah Azza wa Jal, all peace, wherever it is, He is the one who provided that peace. He is the one who provided that peace. So, in Him providing peace, where's that? There is in Surah Yasin, you will find ayah number 58, Salamun qawlan min Rabbir Rahim. Salam, peace. A statement from the Lord of all creation. A statement from Him, or peace that He gives. Salamun qawlan min Rabbir Rahim. The context of that, if you look in Surah Yasin, is that Allah Azza wa Jal on the Day of Judgment, He will call the people who have done well, and He will say to them, Salamun qawlan min Rabbir Rahim. This is peace from me. I've said to you that you're safe. I'm the giver of safety. I'm the giver of safety. So I'm saying now, you have safety. This is a promise from myself to yourselves. We find that once, Imam Qurtubi says, what is really important is that once we recognize this, it is very important for us to ask Allah Azza wa Jal to provide us with safety and with peace. One of the things that even the prophets will say when they're crossing the bridge on the Day of Judgment, they will say, Allahumma sallim, Allahumma sallim. Oh Allah, provide us safety. Oh Allah, provide us safety. They will say that when even the prophets who are crossing the bridge, at that moment they will be making this dua to Allah. So we should make dua to Allah for all kinds of safety, in this world and in the next world. He says, as for safety in this world, we ask Allah Azza wa Jal. He says there's two types. One is a safety on the outer, and there's another safety on the inner. We are asking Allah to keep you safe from all different types of illnesses, from all different types of diseases, and anything that people do not like. Any kind of troubles or difficulties people are going through. As for the ones on the inside of ourselves, we are asking Allah Azza wa Jal to keep us safe in our deen and in our religion. We should ask for that. And we should ask that He keeps our yaqeen and conviction safe, that we do not slip into disobedience or into any kind of bid'ah or something which is not liked of any disobedience, anything that is an innovation in the deen. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to save us from that. And finally, our thing is to try and become those who completely turn to Him in this submission of وَمَنْ يُسْلِمْ وَجْهَهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَهُوَ مُحْسِنٌ. There is an ayah in the Quran in Surah Luqman, ayah number 22. Whosoever will turn their face or their body towards Allah Azza wa Jal, and they are doing it in excellence, then they have held on to a very strong link. What does that mean? That we try and keep ourselves safe from the things that is unwanted. And what is that? You can find it in a hadith where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Allahumma ja'alni silman li awliyaik harban li a'daik. This is a hadith, part of a hadith in Tirmidhi 3419, where Abdullah bin Abbas radiyallahu anhuma, he reports from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, Allahumma ja'alna hadina muhtadin. Oh Allah, make us people who guide and who are guided. غَيْرْ ضَالِّينَ وَلَا مُضِلِّينَ. Don't make us of those people who are astray or those who make others go astray. سِلْمًا لِأَوْلِيَائِكَ وَعَدُوًا لِأَعْدَائِكَ. Make us those who are giving safety and peace to those who are close to you, and we show enmity to those who are showing enmity to yourself or who are enemies of yourself. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said in a hadith of Muslim, hadith number 40, Al-Muslimu man salim al-Muslimuna min lisanihi wa yadihi. A Muslim is one whom other Muslims are safe from his tongue and from his hand. So this is the safety that we provide, because Allah is a salam. He gives us the sifa of being, providing us with that safety, and we should then provide it, we should then extend that to others from ourselves to them. And one thing, subhanallah azim, Imam Qurtubi, he narrates here, which is a beautiful statement. He says that one of the Salaf, one of the pious predecessors, he heard somebody backbiting another man. When he heard that, he called him over to himself and he said, he knew that he was a person who used to go into the path of Allah and fight. So he said, have you gone out to fight this? He said, no. He said, how can the kuffar or the disbelievers find safety from you when no Muslim is even safe from you? How do you use your tongue to backbite others? So Imam Qurtubi says that we should clear ourselves, our hearts, from deception, from having the wrong type of envy, from having any intention of committing evil. We should purify ourselves from falling into any type of haram or any sin. We should purify ourselves to the extent that others and the servants of Allah are safe from ourselves, until we reach Allah and we reach Him with qalbin salim. Qalbin salim. So Allah Azza wa Jal has said that on the Day of Judgment, those people who are impure, those people who are safe from all the disasters, are the people who have come with a safe heart. Qalbin salim. This is in Surah Shu'ara, ayah number, I think 88. You will find that illa man atallaha biqalbin salim. So if you try and completely make our hearts free from all of these unwanted things that Allah Azza wa Jal has said, then we should come to Him with that type of heart. And the last thing that I will cover is there's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, and this has been reported in Muslim by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. So this hadith is in Muslim, hadith number 54, that Rasulullah sallallahu, and it's in many other books of hadith, including Bukhari in his Adab al-Mufrad, that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, "La tadkhulul jannata hatta tu'minu." You will not, none of you will enter, or you will not enter Jannah or paradise until you believe. وَلَا تُؤْمِنُوا حَتَّى تَحَابُوا. And you will not believe until you love one another. أَوَلَا أَدُلُّكُمْ عَلَى شَيْءٍ إِذَا فَعَلْتُمُوهُ تَحَابَبْتُمْ. Should I not tell you of a thing that if you are able to do it, then you will have love, mutual love for one another as brothers in Islam and as sisters in Islam. Afshu salam bainakum, spread peace between yourselves. This hadith has two meanings. Either say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh again and again to one another, or you spread peace between yourselves in the form of act and so on. Both of them are included in this hadith. And please do not forget that when we say assalamu alaikum to someone, what does it mean? It means that you are safe from any harm from myself. There's no point of me saying assalamu alaikum to someone and then going around harming them or causing them harm or having bad intentions. This is not something which is allowed. Jazakumullahu khair. We have come to the word salam. The next week inshallah 7:30, please try and be here. We will continue from the name of Allah Azza wa Jal, Al-Mu'min, and then we'll move on to Muhaymin inshallah. Huwa Allahu alladhi la ilaha illa huwa Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Al-Malik Al-Quddus Salam. Please try and learn this with me and say it loudly when we say it, so that we can learn all the 99 names as we go through this. Jazakumullahu khair wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.